It's about to go down.
You are listening to WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com, and hosted by
You are listening to the incredible
Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
This is WPRD 98.3 GCOM Radio. We are back here for the 9th episode. We've been having fun so far these past couple of weeks, talking about different things, playing some great music. These artists are ready for, the cream of the crop. But yeah, man, we're here to talk about some things that's been coming up for the past week. So the first, get right down to brass tacks. Right down to business. The first thing that I would like to talk about is just normalcy of sex and your age. So I'm on Facebook and I saw a thread, and that was kind of interesting. And bear with me, folks. I just want to read this thread so you guys know exactly what we're talking about here. So a friend of mine that's connected in Facebook, her name is Thembisa Mshaka. Shout out to her. And she had a post that I was kind of like, I don't know about that. It was kind of like, I felt was slut shaming. I don't know if I can use that as a man. Let's see. Just follow me, y'all. Just hear me out on this thing. So it says, in a Lyft, of course, the taxi service, to the airport, shared ride, I am one of two sisters in the back. 34-year-old black dude hops in the front. Dude to the driver, how was your night? Driver says, good. You have a happy glow. Dude says, it was great, and laughs. Ha 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 ha. The driver says, oh. The dude says, you think I just finished fucking? It's not what you think. Well, TMI, y'all pardon me. My friend Thembisa, which she marks herself as me, says, already past that. Sister passenger says, a terse laugh. Okay. Me, Thembisa, hi, good morning. Y'all, it's 5 a.m., she says. This is the time that this whole ride was taking place. Dude says, so I'm straight, right? But I love women. I mean love. Since I was like 6 years old. Thembisa says, with the googly eye icon, like, I guess to say, okay, I'm listening. Dude says, I try to be responsible, but I'm a musician. I work at a club. My schedule is crazy. I haven't found the right mind, body, and spirit combination in a woman. I'm in the energy, I've been single for a decade. I'm going to be about 35. But anyway, sister pastor just says, has two googly eyes, meaning, okay, she's staring on like, really, what's going on here? Dude to driver says, I'm proud of myself. I turned down pussy. Me, Thembisa says, reaches for headphones, sets her, the artist, the R&B artist, her, H-E-R, playlist to shuffle. I literally shared a ride with the subject of Ask Demetria post. He was cute and charming and walking cautionary shade room meme. He is what black women, parentheses, and according to his love for women, all women are dealing with out here. Dudes who want gold stars for turning down pussy. Sir, ever consider you may be a sex addict? Therapy may be in order. Hashtag IJS, pretty much, I think that means I'm just saying. Hashtag never settle, wrap it up. Dick control deficiency syndrome. Dude poking everything moving. Hashtag there is no try. And she says, Demetria, oh, maybe I shouldn't put her name on. I don't know. It's public. I'm cackling to myself in disbelief. Is it wrong that I want him to keep turning down pussy? Oh, and good morning. So she got a couple of likes, several likes, and a long comment list. So I saw that and I was like, what is the big deal? Did she get turned off? Maybe she got turned off. I'm not saying to you, Thembisa. Maybe you got turned off because the way he came off in the car, entering, being cocky, being, just braggadocio, that, he was saying all these things, and maybe the way he presented it really turns you off and the sister that was sitting next to you. But my thing was, what exactly did he say that was a problem? Or maybe he just said things that didn't have much tact. he was talking to total strangers about what he did smash or what he didn't smash, and gave you a little insight on his sexual past. And I guess you could say that was a little TMI as far as strangers go. But really, if you think about it, as a 35-year-old man, what's the problem with him just having sex with women? If that's his choice, that's his choice. Because I say that because you did say hashtag dick control deficiency syndrome, me poking everything moving. Now, again, how is this a problem? Okay, how is this a problem? If he makes a choice at 35 and he feels that he hasn't found the right one, that's his business to have sex with 10 women a day if he so wishes. That's his thing. I don't see a problem with this, because my thing is, I'll take it like this, right? There are habitual, how should I say, not even habitual, the people that love to get married. I guess you could say habitual in that way. They get married 4 times, 5 times. Give me a famous star, La. Oh, I didn't even, sorry folks, I didn't even introduce La. What up, La? What's going on? My bad, I didn't even introduce you.
I know, so self-absorbed, just, you know.
Oh! No, don't say that, man. Girl, you know I... Okay. I'm gonna let that one ride.
What up, y'all?
What's up, La? I love you, La. I love you deep down in every fiber of my being. You could. Why you ain't cut me off?
Yo, I mean, you were into a groove. You were just doing your little thing, and I was like, okay, I'm a, you know, like, you know how when someone's doing a double dutch and you waiting to just jump in. That's what I was doing. I was in the movement and everything, man. Like, I'm gonna jump in.
I like, yo, damn, yo. I mean, yo, say, hey, I'm here. Yo, my bad. That don't usually happen,
Nah,
y'all.
it usually
that usually
does.
don't happen.
No. Yeah, but you know, in what you were saying, like, I'm like, okay, what am I missing here? What part of what he said does he disclose that he was sticking to everybody that was moving? You know what I mean? Like, just because you love, like, I love men, but I can count on both my hands, and I'm a woman in her early 40s. I can count on 2 hands, less than that, the number of men I slept with. You know what I mean? But I love men. That doesn't mean that I'm sleeping with everybody. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, so what part of a...
But it's a problem if you did.
You know, I think it depends on the individual. It depends on your morals. It depends on, you know, what you believe in. So for me, that was my goal. My goal was like, I can't be sleeping with everybody and their daddy. So I wanted to have meaningful relationships. I didn't want to just be, I didn't want to just be having sex with any and everybody. And I tried to make sure that the guys that I did engage in intercourse with, that I knew them well enough, and that it wasn't going to be something that I felt like it was going to last, right? And so it didn't last. And so that's how I ended up getting off of that one hand, because, you know, I wanted to keep it 5 and below. But sometimes relationships don't work out, you know what I mean? And then ultimately I made the decision to practice abstinence. And so, but I feel like for both sexes, in my beliefs, I think you need to honor your body. I think you need to think higher of yourself than to be giving it away to anybody who doesn't deserve it. I do believe that you ought to know someone more than you love them, right? And I feel like you need to love somebody to give them your sex, give them your inner part of you. I understand that men think differently than women, and they don't really think that sex is something that's, I mean, it's not a thing for them. And they just getting one off. They just busting one. But for women, for most women, I should say, it's about more than that. And I think that men should be more careful about that and not just thinking, I can just bust one off, because you can handle that by yourself. You don't need to be complicating things
but it
with a
depends
woman.
on...
Like understanding how a woman feels about it, you don't need to be putting yourself in that situation, and you know that you really just trying to get one off. You ain't really trying to do nothing else with her. You know what I mean?
Well, we don't know. We don't know the details. He could be totally honest with these women and be like, "Yo, man."
Well, he has. For me, he hasn't even said that he was busting everybody off, though. He just said he loved women and that he turned down some booty.
That's true. All right, and he turned down booty. But let's just say he did have sex with a lot of women in the previous week. Again,
it's his prerogative, but I still think that you're not honoring yourself by sleeping with everybody and their mama. And not only that, with the way of the rates of sexually transmitted diseases are, and those diseases that could actually kill you, I would think that you would have a little bit more sense about you than to be sleeping. So for me, I'm like, you nasty, because you don't care nothing about you or the person you sleeping with. You know what I'm saying? That's my mind is thinking, because all you have to do is hit Google and it'll tell you the rates of these sexually transmitted diseases. That's why I ultimately decided, and that's me, someone who has slept with less than 10 people. I ultimately decided, yo, I'm about to just go ahead and I'm not doing nothing until I get married.
Okay, well, hold on. But would you say she was, dare I say, reverse slut shaming? And as a man, you could be, oh, you can't say that. I'm saying. I mean, that's.
I don't think it is. I think it is. I think she's just calling what it is. But here's the thing. I don't agree with her saying it, because in what she posted, unless she did not post all of the details, I don't see where he is being slutty. And y'all know I don't use profanity, so saying slutty uses like, I'm like, ooh.
my law does not use profanity.
But
it's all good. I'll take up the profanity meter for you. I'll bring it to the red levels.
But in her saying that, I'm like, okay, I don't see where she can call him that, because he hasn't disclosed, and unless she didn't, say everything that he said. To me, I didn't see where he said anything that indicates he's sleeping with everybody and their mama.
I think she secretly desired him.
You think she secretly desired him? Boy, please!
She secretly desired him because she was like, who is this fine man coming?
I know. Did she say what he looked like, girl? Did you get a pic?
She said I think if I read correct, he said he looked good. Like, you know what I mean? I think she secretly desired him. And then when he opened his mouth and said all those things, she was like, damn, that's how you treat women? Well, I don't need you. And put her nose in the air to my man. But
I had a situation kind of sort of like that. There was this guy that, every woman wanted him. Like, this man was beautiful. Rest his soul. He's passed on. But this man, oh Lord have mercy, you would stop in your tracks when you saw him, right? And this was back, I was like, I think I was still kind of young. I think I was still like a teenager, 18, 19 or something like that. And he saw me at a McDonald's or something after a game, and he was trying to spit game to me, and I had already heard about him. All the chicks liked him, and half of them had, was trying to get with him or whatever, and some of them did. And so I was like, I ain't even thinking about you. You fine and everything, and I want to give you my number, but I'm not even gonna do it, right? Because I'm like, I'm worth too much for you, because you give yourself away too much. That's what in my mind. And so I kind of told him, if you're that interested in me and you really, want my number, you'll find a way to get it. So I didn't give him my number. Yes. Word? And I tell you, he called me in like 2 days. He got my number from somebody. I don't know who.
Excuse me, you wanted my man to do a little gold treasure hunt.
You gonna work for this, man. You gonna work for this. Like, I'm not like all the other women. I know you're fine, but I can tell you no. I don't care how fine you are.
And that's exactly what I think her mentality was. She was like, okay, you may be fine, but don't think your joint is too big. Right. All right? It's not that serious. And because he said all those things, she was like, no, you ain't all that. And hey, it goes back to what I said before, and let's just backtrack a little bit. What's that woman's name? That Kanye's ex-girlfriend. Man, she did the slut walk thing. Amber Rose. And she simply said, you know, men can sleep with 20 women and they're praised for it and they're patted on the back. But when women do it, we're hoes. And she wants to change that thought process. I mean, she ain't come up with it. There's a lot of women been saying that, but she kind of like took up arms as being the celebrity that she is and wants people to know about that. But hey, man, if you're a woman and you want to sleep with 20 guys, look, unfortunately, yeah, that's just how society currently sees it. And me as an individual, I say, look, that's your business if you want to sleep with 20 guys. I can't stop you. You go home with yourself, and you wake up in the morning and you look at yourself in the mirror every day. So it's like, who am I to say what you should be doing with your body? Now, if you either way, Elizabeth Taylor. Now this is flip, right? So Elizabeth Taylor, back everybody knows Elizabeth Taylor. Wasn't she like, you know, she? And I mentioned, I said that before. I think I lost my train of thought. She married like 4 or 5 guys. All right, is that wrong? She's well into her 50s, 60s, divorced, remarried again. A lot of people had opinions about that. They're like, oh man, you know, I don't think she should be getting married. Or what's she doing getting married? That's her business, right? Mean, if she wants to marry the 6th, 7th guy,
you know what I mean? Like, she's getting married. She's trying. She didn't just, you know, sleep with everybody, their mama and their daddy, and like, I'm never getting married.
She's an habitual bride. She loves getting married.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out, and that's why I said, you know, that quote that Tyrese always says. You have to know someone more than you love them. You know what I mean? I think people aren't giving themselves a chance to get to know someone before they allow themselves to fall in love with them. And then you fall in love with this person, and then once you get to know them, you see, oh man, this isn't the right one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but hold on. We talking about relationship. What happened just casual sex?
Man,
say 2 people are single, 2 people together, like male, female, and I'm just
some people are into that.
And then you meet each other and be like, hey man,
when I have a lot of friends and a lot of, you know, male and female, and I think for either, you know, male or female, I feel the same way. Like, if you're sleeping with a bunch of people without an end goal of being with the person, you're a little hoish to me. But ain't no problem with
your
that. Opinion,
if it's a consenting adult.
For you feel like there's no problem with that. That doesn't bother you. But in my mind, I'm like, that's a little, you're a little hoish. That's how I feel. And I'm entitled to feel how I feel, and you're entitled to feel how I feel.
No, I understand. I'm just saying for me, I get what you're saying. I get you. I totally respect that. But there are those that male and female and meet each other and like, okay, I'm not talking about in the 20s. I'm talking about people that are well into their 30s, their 40s, they're divorced or separated or not, or just single, and they say, hey man, you're pretty cool. We met you here, and they go ahead and have casual sex. There's nothing wrong with that. Even if it's 3 or 4 people, that's your business. That,
but especially for my brothers and sisters out there that are believers and has accepted, you know, Christ as their savior, and they understand that fornication is a sin and adultery and all of that is a sin, and you're going out there and sleeping with whoever you want to and thinking that it's okay because everybody else does it. It's not okay. It's still a sin. You know, we want to look at other people, and, you know, a lot of people want to judge homosexuals and say, you know, oh, they're going to burn in hell and say all that stuff. Well, you are, because you're fornicating. One sin is not greater than the other. And I don't want to get to preaching, but you know what I mean? For me, that's how I'm looking at it. Like, man, I knew that I needed to get my life right. I was out there being reckless with it. I understood that what I was doing, fornicating, was a sin. So I made that decision to go and practice abstinence, and I have, you know, I stuck to it, and I plan on getting married before I do it again. Now, understand that I said plan. I am still a sinner. We all are. We can't help it. Nobody is perfect. But my plan and what I intend to do is to wait until I get married. But again, I'm human. You know what I mean? And so,
yeah, no doubt.
For me,
have fun.
So for me, like, if you just out there just getting it in, and then you proclaiming that you're a Christian, You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're no different than somebody who out
we're
there.
human, right?
You're not any different than somebody out there breaking into everybody's house and then be like, but they in church, with you every Sunday, like, yeah, praise to the Lord, talking about they're the saint and everything. But you just broke into somebody's house on Wednesday, right? But you're no different because you just slept with somebody last night and you're not married. So how you gonna judge this man that broke into somebody's house? You know what I mean? One sentence is greater than the other. And so that's what my...
You know how many preachers? You know how many preachers be having these?
I know it's a lot of people out there. I understand that we're all human, but I'm like, don't. So I'm just saying, from my eyes, the way I'm looking at it, you out there sleeping with this person, that person, and that person, it's all wrong to me. So I'm never going to see it like, oh, it's okay, it's just sex. It's just, you could be casual, we're grown, consenting adults. I'm never going to view it like that.
Okay. Well, I think in closing, I think she was a little presumptuous. My girl Thembisa, on passing or being judge, jury, and executioner on the brother. But I gotta say, a lot of people commented, and they was just she had her cheerleaders, and they was going at it. They was like, yeah, oh my God, from the comments that I did read, and I'm like, it's a little much.
No, I think it's because you're a man, and men been getting away with it for years, and women have been called that name for years, and men haven't. And now that women are saying, hey, they're pointing it out and saying, hey, you nasty.
Well, ain't nobody stopping, her from doing her
right,
thing.
But
I think she's in a relationship. I think right now she's in a relationship. What I'm saying though, if ever something didn't work out, she has every right to enjoy herself and enjoy the people that she meets, whoever that may be. So I think it was just a little much, just crucifying my man. And does he have a sex addiction? As I think at worst, the worst thing he did was maybe he came off too cocky in the car, and it was just
I would need a little bit more information. I think from what she said, I don't think that was enough to say, this dude is a little raunchy. I don't think.
First up, we have Naomi Cowan from Jamaica with
I broke this
Naked.
girl off here and this girl here, this and he had named all these women, and like I did 3 or 4 this one day, and then I would have been like, yeah, she's justified in saying what she's saying, but she hasn't said anything or said that he said anything that indicated that dude was nasty.
She's secretly desired.
You was a hater, Nova. That's all. You was a hater.
I'm just playing. Okay, what's the song for the day? We ran way over.
Yeah, we ran way over.
So we're going to get into this first song for the first segment. The name of the artist is Naomi Cowan, coming straight out of Jamaica. Her song is called Paradise Plum. The single just dropped. It's a banger. I can't wait for it to really start making waves throughout the world. So come check out Naomi Cowan, Paradise Plum.
Exclusive. You never put up a fight, no. Paradise Plum. Just know me like we knew. We never had to say your word, not your show. Silence you never put up a fight, no. Paradise Plum. Just know me like we knew. We never had to say your word, not your show. Silence. We're spending time on the regular. We'll pass the days when you just call me on my cellular. If I'm the book, then you're the editor. Cause we always bringing out the best in us. It's not a rushing, man. Even though you cuss me cause I stress you, I'm not noting, man. It's just a trusting, man. Doing life together, got each other, I'm not noting. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew. We never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence, baby. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew. We never had to say your word, not to sound. Silence. Remember when you did that check for me? and buy me sweetie down a halfway tree. You say paradise plum, who you are run from. I give you my love, boy. He's not a rushing man, even though you cuss me cause I stress you. I'm not noting man. It's just a trusting man, doing life together, got each other. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we do. We never had to say a word, not a sound. Silence, you. I don't wanna fight. You never put up a fight, no. I don't wanna fight. You just know me like we never say a word, not a sound. Silence, telling you the truth. Got nothing left for proof. And if you leave it up to me, you know we'll make it. I've opened up to you. Oh boy, what can I do? I wanna know if it's true. Woo, 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 woo. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew. We never had to say a word, not a sound. Silence, you, baby. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew. We never had to say a word, not a sound. Silence, you never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew. We never had to say a word, not a sound. Silence, you, baby. You never put up a fight, no. You just know me like we knew. We never had to say a word, not a sound.
This is GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com. Come join, be a lifer. Practice dollar power and build financial independence.
Loving it. So, we're going to come with another segment and we're going to close out. This time we're only going to do 2 segments because we have some songs to play and some videos to have on the YouTube channel. So what we're going to talk about in this second segment is Kanye.
Yeezy.
Yeah, so Kanye did some kind of post on his Instagram talking about how he didn't like people talking about his wife. Namely, and it's funny why they didn't mention the show. He was talking about, what's the dude from Drumline? I can't remember his name.
He was talking about Nick Cannon,
Drake,
and Tyson Beckford.
Tyson Beckford talking about, you know, that they had dealings in the past with his wife or referencing having sexual relations with Kim Kardashian. And he got upset about that, and he's walking through Chicago, I guess. And he's talking about how, you know, people shouldn't be talking about his wife and have some respect and, you know, about, you know, certain songs that was named and he shouldn't have done that, blah, 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 blah. Give me your thoughts on that.
I mean, I respect that man. I don't think that he said anything that was unreasonable. You know, basically he said to Nick, he said, first of all, I want to address Nick Cannon. I understand that you used to date my wife, but you know, you get into an interview, don't mention my wife. You know, if they ask you a question, just say, I respect that man. I'm not going to speak on this. You know, apparently Nick Cannon was in an interview and they asked him about Kim Kardashian and, you know, the fact that he used to date her. And, you know, he was talking about her body parts. And I think he insinuated that, you know, for her being a white girl that, you know, she had a big butt and all this stuff. And I guess he was alluding to the fact that, you know, she was a plastic chick, you know, and Kanye didn't appreciate that. You know, I don't care if you did used to date my wife. She is now married and she's married to me. You need to respect me as a man and as that being my wife. I don't have a problem with anything that Kanye said to any of them, you know, because that is his wife and they are speaking on this woman and that's his wife. You know, he's saying, I have the respect for whoever you're dating and whoever your wife is. You know, if you have a situation or you have an issue, you got my number, you can call me, you know, but since you want to do these things publicly, now I'm saying this publicly, quit speaking on my wife. And then I guess Drake and Kim never had any situation. They never slept together. They never were in the relationship. But, you know, I think Drake just let it go on. Everybody was thinking that song, that Kiki song that was blowing up and everybody was doing a little dance to, doing the Kiki challenge or whatever you call it, in the feelings challenge. People were saying that, you know, he was speaking of Kim Kardashian. Yeah. And Drake never came out publicly and say, no, I'm not talking about her. I never slept with Kim. And, you know, Kanye felt a way about that because I guess at some point him and Drake, you know, I don't know if they were best buddies, but they were cool. And he felt like Drake should have came out and said, no, I never slept with that man's wife. And I'm not talking about her, you know? And, you know, we all, I don't know if you read about it, what Tyson Beckford had said about Kim Kardashian, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a picture of her, and I guess it looks a little disproportionate. And
he had his criticisms, and Kim shot back.
And
Kim shot
back. Oh, yeah, she shot back at him. And, but... You know, he had a little bit something to say about her anatomy and that it was fake and everything. And so, you know, Kanye just doesn't appreciate that. He's like, you know, as a man, you shouldn't be speaking on another man's wife. So, you know, I don't see anything wrong in him saying that.
Okay, so as let's say Nick Cannon. All right, I heard and saw Nick Cannon's response, and he had to say what he had to say. And this is my thing. I'm not taking either side, but
I didn't see his response. What did he say?
Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
He pretty much say, "Hey man, look, I can say what I want, you know, I'm paraphrasing. He said it's a free, he didn't say a free country, but he says, listen, I'm a grown man. I can say what I want. I didn't say nothing about anything crazy about your relationship. He said, more power to you and you two as a couple. But somebody asked me a question. I answered it. Yada, yada, yada. You know, if you know where to reach me, you can reach me. You know where I'm at. You can call me anytime. We could talk. It's not like, you know, I'm unreachable. And he left it like that. You know, in a nutshell. So it was on the Shade Room. He put it on his IG account and they got reposted in the Shade Room. You know, everybody knows the Shade Room. The Shade Room just talk about, you know, celebrity news and whatever drama that's going on, and they have an Instagram account. It was on there. So that's what Nick Cannon had to say. Now, I don't necessarily disagree with Nick Cannon. Now, Kim Kardashian is a public figure. She is a celebrity. So it's not like she's behind the scenes. She's quiet. She's not in the business. And if you reached out to say certain criticisms about Kim, I can understand. But she's a public figure. She's out there. She's on magazines. She's on TV. She got her own TV show. We spoke about her on the show, you know, in the previous episode. So that's just what you call it, that's just the business of being a celebrity. People are going to talk about you, and he ain't say nothing like slick about Kim Kardashian. He just I don't know why they didn't mention it. He was on Vlad TV on Vlad's got a TV show on YouTube or a YouTube show, and he interviews a lot of different celebrities and public figures, mostly rappers and R&B artists and such like that. And he just said, you know, they were mentioning about Kim Kardashian and if they had prior dealings and what you think about, you know, in general, all these women augmenting themselves with butts and breast implants and all that. And then that's how Kim kind of got into the conversation. So, but he ain't saying nothing crazy. He just like, yeah, it's kind of, you know, and he was throwing in his 2 cents. Nothing disrespectful.
Well, I just feel like it's understood that the reason why they're asking him those questions is because they do have knowledge that he used to be in a relationship with her, and that he would have more knowledge than someone else who didn't. You know, he's seen her naked. They've been intimate, and so he would be able to give more of an insight view of, you know, what her body is about. And I do believe that is sort of like kissing and telling. I think you should keep your mouth shut. And
he ain't say nothing. He ain't say he smacked it up, flipped it,
well,
rubbed it down.
I don't care if I think he should have said, I'm going to defer that question. I'm not going to comment on that. It's not even out of respect for Kanye, out of respect for Kim. This is someone you used to date. This is someone you were intimate with. Like when he was married with Mariah, he had a problem with people saying that she was lip syncing. So if you had a problem with people saying that Mariah was lip syncing, how you not going to understand that Kanye would have a problem with you saying that his wife's body parts are plastic? And you used to date her. You know what I mean? So I just believe that he should have, as a man, and out of respect for Kim, he should have said that I'm not gonna speak on that topic. I mean, it almost seems like he's being thirsty. He wants this little 15 minutes of fame.
But you gotta peep it though, because the interview didn't come off that in any way raunchy or disrespectful or
I don't care.
intending to slight Kim Kardashian. He just said he just responded. I don't feel like
you should speak on. I mean, you're in that industry, and you know people are going to try to dig and get information on anybody you're dating that's a celebrity. You're not hearing them bring up people who are non-celebrities that he used to date. I think that, you know, if they have questions about Kim and her anatomy, they need to ask Kim.
So you know people are going to talk about you. You do realize this, right? People are going to talk about you. So they shouldn't talk about you?
They should talk about me. If you are a man that I was in a relationship with, if you are a man and you were in a relationship with me and they're going to ask you something that's personal and private, if they're going to ask you something about my body, if they're going to ask you something about our relationship, something that I don't share publicly, you need to keep your mouth shut.
He may not want to. He may want to do it because he's going to
Well, if you don't want to, then it'll be handled the way it has to be handled. But what I'm saying is, you don't need to be talking about that. As somebody of integrity, you should not be speaking on a personal relationship that you had with someone and your relationship was private.
So what if one of your exes talk about you when they on TV? Are you going to get upset?
What do you mean, what if they talk about me? I'm not going to be okay with it. They not gonna say, well, I'm gonna leave that to me and Latasha. You know, I'm not gonna get to it. They better say that. But he could very well do the opposite and be like, yo, let me tell you, let me let you in. Well, if he does the opposite, then whatever needs to occur gonna occur. But what I'm saying is, as a man of integrity, first of all, I wouldn't get myself involved with somebody who's gonna do some stuff like that. And if they do, then being someone who is very open with someone that I am dating, they would understand that would be a big mistake if they did something like that.
Okay, I see where you come from. I just, and the last person,
I just feel like everyone thinks that because Kim did that sex tape that got leaked, and they're saying that they don't believe it was really leaked and that it was a stunt and publicity thing, that they feel like she's just free ground and you can talk about this woman and her body and her sex and everything, and she doesn't have anything, she has no say over it. And I think that's just victimizing her, and I don't think that's right. And I think a man that is not some wimp or whatever, it's another word that I'm thinking, but I don't use profanity. I think a man with any dignity or self-respect is not going to talk about a woman like that.
Okay, I can respect your opinion. I can respect it.
Because I guarantee you, if they ask him a question like that about Mariah, who was the mother of his children,
you won't be flipping.
He's not going to talk about it.
You're like, I ain't gonna say nothing. You don't be talking about Mariah like that.
That's the mother of my children.
That's the mother of my kids.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, if somebody asks me about Kim, I'm gonna be like, yo, this is my situation, this is how I feel about it. I'm not talking about sexual positions. I'm not talking about what's her secret naughty sexual liking. I'm not gonna say that, but I'm gonna be like, this is my opinion about, breast implants and butt implants and all these other things and blah blah blah.
I don't think you should even see. I feel like this is how I feel. If you are questioned about someone that you used to date, that you were intimate about, and that you would have inside knowledge of information that they're trying to gain, and they ask you a question about that person, that was your private relationship. They trusted you to be someone that's not going to go out to the blogs and to TMZ or whatever and tell their business. Like you're not their business partner. You're not someone who's supposed to be for them for a reason other than personal and romantic. So they're not expecting you to go and tell your sex, you know what I mean? Your intimate relationship with them. So I feel like any question that has to do with anything like that, I don't care if they're asking you the color of the tooth in the back of her mouth, I feel like you should not be answering that. But if they're asking you about how do you feel about Kim, and you're somebody who used to dated her, how do you feel about Kim's business acumen? Have at it. Speak about her business acumen. That's something that anybody can talk about. They don't have, unless you're someone who is within her business and has inside information that can harm her for you talking about it, proprietary information, then, you know, unless you're that type of person, don't discuss it. But if, hey, yeah, I think Kim is wonderful, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But if, you know, like I said, if it's anything to do about enhancements to the body and things like that, I think you should be like, I don't want to have this discussion. Period. You should let that go. Now, if you have not had an intimate relationship with her, if you're not someone who's her mother or sister or someone who would understand or know, you know, what has gone on with her medically and all that stuff, and they ask you that question, say what you want to say if you don't value your relationship with her. But, you know, I just think it's so unfair for anybody, even if it was a woman who was being interviewed about a man that she once dated. I just think it's cheap, and I think it's out in poor taste to have that discussion with a blog or, you know, publication about this person personally.
Okay. But, you know, I could dig it, but I'm not going to put it past anybody if I deal with someone and I'm a public figure that they won't say something. That's just the reality of what we're dealing with in 2018 and in the entertainment
I'm not
business.
saying that you can put it past them. People are money hungry, you know, and people do what they
want
do.
to get some shine, and they're gonna be
but
like,
that doesn't make it right.
Now,
it doesn't make it right.
Right. Okay. It doesn't make it right. And as far as you said, I wanted to also add, you know, her knowing how she got into the business in the way that she did, as everybody knows with the sex tape, some people have always said, what's the talent? What's the skill? What's she do? How did she get to this point where she's making all this money and you know, people are paying attention to her? And yeah, that may add to people's reasons for throwing darts at Kim, because a lot of people have worked hard and have the talent and want to get into the business, and her was a one-off. It was just this you know, anomaly, quirky thing that just happens in life where a sex tape drops, and because she's with Ray J, and all of a sudden she is a celebrity based off of that stupid sex tape. And because of that, there was a few other people that say, hey, shoot, if she could do it, I could do it too. And everybody trying to take those shots of dropping the set. Not everybody, but the few that did are trying to get the come up off of these sex tapes. Now, you know, I probably agree with what people say. They be like, yo, you know, what does she do? And then, you know, at the time. Now, did she make an empire based on that? Yeah, she did. Now, she got TV shows, she got clothing lines, or whatever else she got, she's in. Regardless of what started it, at this point, she's in, and she capitalized. Capitalized.
I won't say, you know, and that's where I disagree. And, you know, I do agree that how she got exposure was through that tape, but Kim was doing her thing before that tape leaked. Like, she was a stylist. She was on her hustle because, you know, she got it from her dad. Her dad was a celebrity attorney.
Yeah, but it's not like her. She was a stylist and she made a business and she came up hard as a stylist.
No, but listen to what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
She already had these skill sets before she was exposed. And once she got exposed and all this interest was in her, she took the stuff to another level. Now people are paying attention to her, so now she has a beauty brand, and now you know what I mean, the things that she was doing before, and just she had a greater platform to be, and a bigger voice to be able to create these businesses. So it's not like she did not have any skills prior to, you know, that tape being dropped. She did. She just wasn't noticed, and she was, I guess the word I would use is relevant. You know what I mean? She just wasn't relevant, and so she became relevant after that tape, and she was smart about it and used that exposure and used that attention and made herself into this huge empire. Now you can hate her for that, or you can say you can respect her for that, for turning lemons into lemonade. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's a reason for people to constantly attack this woman. You know, that was a mistake that she made when she was younger. She has gone past that, even though I don't agree with, you know, she still shows her body every other day. Like,
again, personal
like
choice. Personal
you
choice.
Know, yeah, it's her personal choice. That's not something, you know, I'm like, okay, you're kind of feeding into what everybody is saying, that, you know,
okay, so okay, boom.
Because of that.
So you can't say that. If she's doing these things that's kind of feeding into what people will say about her, then she's kind of the architect of her own criticisms then. right?
No, I won't say that.
Nah?
I won't say that.
If she's skinning out and she's showing herself on all these provocative positions and all that, and it gives people reason to be like...
There's pictures out there of what's her name, Naomi Cowan, and you know, these huge supermodels or whatever they call it, arts. So, you know, it flames the fire a little bit because of how they say, or how people say she got her start, because again, she had these skills prior to that tape coming out. She just used that platform and blew the heck up. And so I'm not gonna hate her for that.
Okay, cool. I can dig it. And on that note, we're going to end this segment with a song from Tae Money from Warren, Ohio called Spotlight. And right after that, we have a new treat, a new video from one of our previous artists that came on the show as far as her song is concerned. Her name is Shantel Sole with Red Light. Me and Latasha would like to thank all of y'all for listening. Come check us out next week for the 10th episode. We're also going to have a special show because it's the 10th episode of some artists that had their songs played previously. And we're just going to check out a little bit about them and what they're up to in the phone zone for GCOM Radio. So for now, let's go with Tae Money, Spotlight.
Smile on so you won't come up to me. And my neck stay fluttered as if I'm up in the seat. You don't got no right if you left it up to me. Put my name in the spotlight so you can see. You don't want the issue if the issue was with me. I show you all the ropes, but I don't do nothing free. Life is being hard, but I'm staying with the beat. I don't want no 10, 13 weeks on my feet. I ain't no any, I ain't all that friendly. Keep on stacking pennies till I get that Bentley. I analyze this whole track, and it went intently. I was taught never hold back, and you see who with me. Put my worst smile on so you won't come up to me. And my neck stay fluttered as if I'm up in the seat. You don't got no right if you left it up to me. Put my name in the spotlight so you can see. Put my worst smile on so you won't come up to me. And my neck stay fluttered as if I'm up in the seat. You ain't got no right if you left it up to me. Put my name in the spotlight so you can see. Yeah, I like that gun action, but I don't like it for me. I ain't talking about Jakari, but you know that I am king. Ain't nobody up on mine, so I put that I intend. Put my name in the spotlight so you can see. He been quiet his whole life, when we gon' hear his voice. He ain't talking to nowhere, we ain't gon' make no noise. He be in gym, on the corner on his phone, so we gon' leave him all alone. If we was kids, he couldn't touch my toys. Yeah, I get it, but I don't care to talk to you. All them kids just fake as ever, I don't care to walk to you. It used to be whenever I talk, it was a shock to you. Now the only time I talk is when I send a shot at you. I am not a faceless, that is what you like before. Book is like the prison cell, I got bars galore. Free Padres, ain't no less, ain't no more. I know I elevated, I no longer feel the floor. If I say I got you, then I got you, that's for sure. My time is coming now, but can you wait a minute more? If I say I got you, then I got you, that's for sure. My time is coming now, but can you wait a minute? Put my worst smile on so you won't come up to me. And my neck stay fluttered as if I'm up in the seat. You don't got no right if you left it up to me. Put my name in the spotlight so you can see. Put my worst smile on so you won't come up to me. And my neck stay fluttered as if I'm up in the seat. You ain't got no right if you left it up to me. Put my name in the spotlight so you can see. Yeah, I like that gun action, but I don't like it for me. I ain't talking about Jakari, but you know that I am king. Ain't nobody up on mine, so I put that I intend. Put my name in the spotlight so you can see.
Sounding off around the world. You are listening to GCOM Radio.
Good job, video Lord. Good job.
Funkadelic mackin'. I be coolin' with my woes, my day ones never slacking. Pull up music blasting, like what's up, cracker lacking. I don't believe in switching sides, it's not you, I don't feel your vibe. I see you got a lot of pride, a lot of stuff you tryna hide. My skeletons been fell out, even the ones I tried to hide. Stay 100, keep it real, young and I ain't gotta fear. Make my haters disappear, be out shit about here. I think it's getting hotter in here. Turn your speakers up right now, all our faces on the ground. Okay, Shantel, calm it down. Don't let them get you unwound. Stay in place, not out to bounce. Preachers preaching, not the sound. Open minds, now sit down. Red light blasting, Funkadelic Mackin', red light blasting. 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 Funkadelic Mackin', paper chasing ratting. We don't do no ratting. I need to get the faster money, that's the anthem. I need to get the faster money, that's the anthem. I'm with it, is you with it? Talking, but is you gon' get it? You not this, so you feel it. Rosa Parks and I'm just chillin'. Superman and you the villain. Repetition, gotta build it. Even if I gotta build it to the top. From the bottom, dug it up. And I promise I won't stop. Told my mama I would call a new crib and a new car. Nigga, I ain't gon' stop. Stop for what? Stop for you, not for you. Who is you? Keep my cool, swimming pools on the beach. See us red light blasting. Funkadelic Mackin', 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 red light blasting. Funkadelic Mackin'.
It's WPRD 98.3 G-Com Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community on the next go round from right here to your town.
Y'all already know.
We out.